Chronic stress is quietly destroying your body, and most people have no idea it's happening. You wake up tired. Your digestion is off. You catch every cold that goes around. You can't focus the way you used to. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there's this low hum of tension that never really goes away. Sound familiar? Most people chalk it up to getting older or being busy or just the way life is. More importantly, you'll know what to actually do about it. Let's start with something that might sound a little provocative. Your environment is probably not as dangerous as you've been made to believe. Right now, stop for a second. Look around you. Look out the window. What do you see? A street? Some trees? Maybe a neighbor's car? No hurricanes. Why? No hurricanes. No wildfires. No predators. Look at the floor. Is it about to collapse? Touch the wall. Is it hot? Whoa. And yet, your nervous system may be running as if you're constantly 5 seconds from death. Here's why that matters. Yeah! Your body has 2 operating modes. These 2 systems cannot run at full power at the same time. When one is dominant, the other gets suppressed. Certain groups and media outlets have a direct financial interest in keeping you afraid. Fear keeps attention. Attention sells. And the result is that millions of people are walking around in a low-level state of biological emergency every single day. That's not dramatic. That's just what the research shows. So what does chronic stress actually do to your body? Let's go through it system by system, because this is where it gets serious. Start with your gut. Research shows that sustained high cortisol, the main stress hormone, reduces the diversity of your gut microbiome and increases the presence of pathogenic bacteria. In plain terms, stress makes the population of microbes in your digestive system shift toward the harmful ones. Less of the good, more of the bad. This affects not just digestion, but your mood, your immune function, and your mental clarity, because your gut and your brain are in constant communication. This one shocks a lot of people. Chronic stress suppresses T cells, the immune cells responsible for hunting down viruses, and abnormal cells, including early cancer cells. It's not a small effect. Infections last longer. Recovery takes more time. This is actually the same mechanism that doctors use when they inject prednisone to treat inflammation. Prednisone is a synthetic cortisol. It shuts down the immune response. And when you're chronically stressed, your own body is doing that to itself every single day. What about fertility? Chronic stress decreases sperm production, reduces the likelihood of successful egg implantation, suppresses the menstrual cycle, and lowers libido in both men and women. The body is responding logically. In a dangerous environment, this is not the time to reproduce. But when the dangerous environment is just a bad news cycle, that logic starts to work against you. Here's one that surprises people who are trying to eat well or lose weight. Cortisol is a glucocorticoid. It literally signals the liver to produce new glucose. Even if you're eating low-carb or fasting, chronic stress can push your blood sugar up by breaking down muscle protein and converting it into sugar. That glucose triggers insulin. Over time, that can increase your risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, not from what you eat, but from how stressed you are. Now let's talk about something most people never connect to stress: detoxification. Your liver uses a set of enzymes, called cytochrome P450 enzymes, to convert fat-soluble toxins into water-soluble compounds your body can excrete. Chronic stress inhibits these enzymes, which means stress literally reduces your body's ability to clear environmental toxins. They don't leave, they accumulate. Your body's ability to absorb vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, which has its own receptor that becomes less responsive under stress, gets compromised. And then there's your brain. The hippocampus, the structure most involved in memory, learning, and cognitive flexibility, actually begins to shrink under sustained stress. The prefrontal cortex, which handles rational thinking, planning, and decision-making, becomes less active. And the amygdala, the brain's fear center, becomes more dominant. You become more reactive, less creative, less able to think through problems. This isn't a character flaw. It's biology. A brain under chronic threat prioritizes speed over accuracy, reaction over reflection. Finally, your genes. This might sound fatalistic, but it's actually the opposite. Because what this field of epigenetics tells us is that your lifestyle, not just your DNA, controls which genes switch on and which switch off. Stress flips the wrong switches. And that means you have more control than most people realize. So what do you do with all of this? The single most powerful change, and this is what I want you to actually hear, is a shift in how you perceive your environment. Not toxic positivity. Not ignoring real problems. But actively questioning whether the threat level you're absorbing every day is accurate. The next time you finish a video or an article and you feel worse than before you started, and there's no solution offered, no next step, just dread, that is not information. That is a cortisol injection. You don't have to keep watching. Start filtering. This week, notice how you feel after the content you consume. If it consistently leaves you anxious and helpless, cut it. This is not avoidance. This is self-preservation. The second intervention is physical. Exercise is not optional when it comes to stress. It's biochemically necessary. Cortisol and adrenaline are meant to power physical action. When you're stressed but sedentary, those hormones sit in your system and keep damaging it. Movement, especially outdoors, accelerates their clearance. Daily exercise, even a brisk walk, is one of the most evidence-supported ways to regulate your cortisol rhythm and improve sleep quality. And time in nature specifically may help reduce amygdala activity, according to research. Not a metaphor, actual neurological measurable change. The people around you matter too. If someone in your life consistently delivers only bad news, only complaints, only problems, and never solutions, that's worth paying attention to. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between a threat from the news and a threat from a person. Both activate the same stress response. You came into this video feeling like something was quietly wrong in your body, in your energy, in your focus, without being able to name it. Now you can name it. Chronic sympathetic activation. And more importantly, you know it's not permanent. Tomorrow, start with one thing. Pick one content source you consume regularly that leaves you feeling worse and cut it for a week. Just one. See what happens to your baseline tension level. Which part of this hit closest to home for you? The immune suppression? The gut changes? Or maybe the fact that stress alone can raise your blood sugar even when you're eating right? Leave it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious which of these your body has been trying to tell you about. If that's relevant to you, make sure you're subscribed, because that one goes deeper than most people expect. Everything discussed here is based on available research and personal experience. It's meant to inform, not to replace a conversation with your doctor. Your situation is individual, and that matters.